This podcast is sponsored by Intentional Living Magazine, your ultimate guide created to help infuse purpose and passion into your everyday life. From expert features that provide valuable insights to thought-provoking content that sparks transformation, this magazine, an online platform, is a perfect source of inspiration for all of those of us who truly believe in the power of intentional choices.
Hello. Today is about the Life and Business Clinic. So in today's episode, we are literally answering your questions that you've sent in to us to consider a response for. And that's what we've done. We've responded.
It's the Life and Business Clinic. Check it out. Hopefully we've answered some questions for you.
Enjoy.
So, welcome to the Life and Business Clinic. We've got some questions.
I love the fact that you've really livened up now. Oh, you've got a list. Smashing. The Life and Business Clinic is something that we've mentioned and people do write into us.
Ask us questions. People ask us questions all the time.
Yeah. So let's try our best.
Yeah. So we'll work the questions between us.
Okay.
I can ask and then you can answer them. And if I feel like I've got something to add, then I'll add it. So thank you.
You do that, love.
I'm going to.
And as manifesting generators, we're here to respond.
Mm-hmm. So it works, doesn't it?
Well, let's see. Let's see if it will.
Let's see. So, the first question, this is actually one that we ask a lot with some of our clients. So this is my question to you, and then we'll go into the rest of the questions from other people. So what does it mean to you, Jules Kelly, to be a woman in today's modern world?
See that big breath out then? I feel like, I want to say chicken tonight. I feel like it feels quite heavy to be a woman. In me, it feels like a lot of responsibility, but it also feels like the world is literally your oyster. Is that what they say? The world's your oyster.
Yeah.
Well, how random? Because that's oysters like small,
but it's a treasure, isn't it?
Is it? I don't like oysters. Right. So I feel like there are roles. The women play a lot of roles and we wear lots of different hats because we still have the stereotypical women's roles. And I know they're changing, but there is still a great big piece of society where the women is the multitasking Wonder Woman. And there is also the fact that equality means that the women need to be treated the same as men in business. So then, as well as taking all that on, they also then take on the big roles in business. And then potentially they end up burnt out, overwhelmed, and everything that comes with that. Yeah. And it would be fair to say that I've been that person.
Yeah.
And so 7 years ago, maybe it's nearly 8 years ago now. What year are we in? So it's 2017. All of that came to a head for me and went like that. And I went, enough now already. And my body keeps score, as Gabor says. And it was no more. So I guess now, what does it mean to be a woman in here and now for me? For me, it means that you can do anything or be anything that you want to be if you put the work in. Bit different for me because my children are older. Yeah. I've got one that's now married. Yeah. Since our last podcast, I've been mother of the groom, which was a right good knees up. Tick, one done, one to go. And so I suppose for me, freedom. Yeah. Total freedom isn't far away. So that's quite exciting. But also I do believe that anyone can have any life that they want if they take intentional steps to get it.
Yeah. Do you know, if we asked that question to your Gracie?
Christ.
I know she's just on her way back from Download Festival, isn't she? So she's 18, just turned.
Just 18, yeah.
What do you think her response would be? We'll have to get on the podcast. I'm just thinking from a different
I think she feels life hard. She's a manifestor. Society expects her to go and get a job and earn money to pay for stuff that she thinks should be free. That's the top and bottom of it. As a manifestor, she's almost like, well, I didn't choose this. And as a manifestor, for her, she's not designed to fit in. She's designed to lead, and leading in this world. I think, you know what? I think she needs faith and support, but I think she would say it was hard.
Yeah.
It was a hard thing to be.
Yeah.
There's lots to navigate.
Yeah. And does she worry about what people think?
Not so much now. No, she's been through that. She learned a lot of life lessons very early on because she never fit. As a manifestor, she's not designed to fit in. She's designed to lead. So I remember Gracie had probably around maybe age 8, 9. She learned that. Basically, she went to school. She had a best friend right from the get-go, and then the class was split into 2, and her birthday was the cut-off date, and there was one girl that was born on the same day that went with a friend, and one went the other, and that was a really big learning curve for her. And she's had quite a lot of learning throughout her school years, and it's made her really emotionally aware now. So she's emotionally aware of what was going on. What was the question again?
And what does it mean to her to be a woman? And I know
you have to change. I can't remember what you asked me, but basically, she. It's not about fitting in for her. It's about finding something that lights her up.
She's got that awareness of that now, hasn't she? So she understands why she is the way she is.
So a couple of weeks ago, she went through that. Right, I'm finishing college. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what to do. And we sat down and we went through her human design, and we went through it completely. And for her, she's not designed to be in a career. She's, her own design is she's designed to outgrow people, outgrow jobs, outgrow situations. So she's going to have this, she's a 3 energy. She's going to have this life where she's going to just experience all there is to experience. And then when she's experienced it to the point that she's had enough, then she'll move on to the next thing. And that's okay. That doesn't necessarily fit with society's narrative, but that's okay. And I suppose because her brother has always known what he's wanted to do, she's always felt like, well, something's wrong with her because she doesn't know what she wants to do. And that's okay. You don't need to. And she's really creative, and she's here to master. She's here to master her gift. That's in her design. So she's here to sing.
She's got a beautiful voice, hasn't she?
Music is her
not
thing.
Not so today, because she sounds husky on that video from the festival. But she sings so beautifully.
She's here today. And do you know, we watched the Amy Winehouse documentary a week or so ago. No, there's the Amy Winehouse film.
I watched that.
And we watched it, and I said, wow, that's a really different depiction to the documentary that came out like 10 years ago after she passed. So we sat and watched that. And it was interesting because Amy said, like, when the videos of when she was young, I never thought, and I can sing, but I never thought I'd make a living out of it. It was just something that I did. And Gracie said, you know what, that really resonated with her. So I said, you don't need to make a decision on what you want to do, but just master your craft. Yeah. It's where the singer becomes the song. Yeah, yeah. And that's part of her design. So I said, just go with it. Just go with what lights you up. So I think she just needs to earn the money to be able to facilitate the stuff that lights her up. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. So that question, what does it mean to be a woman in today's world? And obviously, for me, we're similar age, aren't we? But as a 48-year-old woman
Thanks
born
for
in
that.
1976, I think no matter what age you are, yeah, it is hard. It is challenging. I feel like but I still got that faith of it's okay. It's all okay. But I've learned over the years, went from burnout, from screaming at and shouting at the kids, from working 60, 70-hour weeks and coming home and getting the laptop back out again and just thinking that's all life is. Just you moving from one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. You're not actually being present with anything.
Comes with age though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you just said it doesn't matter what age you are. I think it does. I think it does matter because...
Well, no, what I mean is what I meant was that question is going to be different.
Yeah. But I feel like as we get older and we've experienced life and we wake up to the fact that it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
But some people have, like when I look at my mum, bless her, my mum's 77, and she said the other day, she said, I think people forget that I'm 77 because she's still doing and she's still looking after and she's still nurturing. And actually, if she was honest, I think she wants someone to just look after her.
Yeah. Because
So
it's in her to be
the
person
provider,
who looks after the family.
nurturer.
Yeah. And we've always got that in us as well, as that nurturing piece in, isn't there, as women, that you want to make sure that the whole community or the whole family or the clan are okay.
I've got quite a lot of tribal energy in my chart. So, and one of my superpowers is the mama papa. So it's about making sure that the family, the tribe is nurtured from beyond a material. So from the emotional support side of things, which I think is evident in my personality, but also I've got gate 50, which is obviously values and the values of the tribe being upheld and integrity and boundaries. And that's why I get triggered when people take advantage of other people or when people don't uphold the values of the tribe. And what's the word? Don't take my kindness for weakness. I hate that. When people take other people's kindness for weakness, it is really gets me goat.
Yeah, same.
And again, being aware of where that shows up in your chart is really helpful. And I think we just talked about Gracie before. We only have learnt this for the last 3.5 years. Imagine knowing it sooner. And the gift is like
the kids do.
The kids, like showing them that that's okay. It's okay for them to be exactly who they want to be with skill, as you say.
Yeah. With skill and action.
Yeah.
So staying in bed all day isn't going to change the life. Like, I'm saying this because Josh is 16. He's just turned 16. He's just finished school. He had his last GCSE on Friday. And I thought, you're going to be in bed all week, mister. But I want to be there to wake him up. But I need to allow him some time for rest because I don't want to rush him into, he knows he's going to college in September, albeit he gets good grades. He'll go on to this engineering course. But I do want him to get up and start looking at getting a job so that he's got some money on the side of him doing his college work. But I want him to do something that he enjoys. I don't want him to just get a job for the sake of it to get the money. I'm like, well, think about what you wouldn't mind doing and go and let's apply.
Go and find it.
Yeah.
Some of them just don't want to do anything, do they?
Well, I didn't think I did. I think I've said
We
this
were
before.
talking
My
about
dad used to come in and throw wet sponges at me and throw ice cold water over me to get me out of bed in the summer holidays.
If we think back a few weeks though, Claire, we've talked about Josh and we've talked about how he has got his GCSEs coming up and then they're now done. This whole big thing that we stress, the system stresses over, and he'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But it is exhausting and they do need some time off.
He does, yeah. He only finished on Friday. It's Monday.
Give him a minute.
I need to give him a minute. I'm not getting the wet sponges out to throw at him. Yeah.
Wait till next week.
Yeah, give him a couple of weeks rest first.
Yeah.
And I want him to enjoy and have the space to feel into what he wants to do.
Yeah.
He is going to be doing some work with my dad. And my dad does a lot of building work and maintenance work, doesn't he? So I thought that'll be good and creative in its time with Grandad, and he's getting paid. And then he can look for something else as well. And then he'll be ready for college in September. And you know what? He's chosen to do this. And I've said to him, because he said he is unsure of what he wants to do. And I said, well, you have to try new things. And if you don't like it,
he's a 2-4,
you can change. So he seems to be happy with the engineering piece. So yeah, I'm leaving him to that.
Let him crack
for
on.
now, yeah. So yeah, that's gone off on a bit of a tangent, that question.
Not like us, that, is it?
That's like why we've got open questions, because it just opens up a whole host of things, doesn't it?
So if you're listening or watching, ask yourself that question. What does it mean to be a woman or a man in this?
What does it mean to be
We ask that in our circles, don't we?
Yeah, in this world today. And it just gets you to open up to different things. It gets you to really think about it and feel into it. So we have another question, and this they've said I can't put the name.
Okay.
How do I balance life, parenting, and career? I work about 60 hours a week. I travel quite a lot, and I've got 2 children, 7 and 8.
Whoa, that's a lot. Mind you, I'm saying that's a lot. That was me once.
Yeah. So what tips have you got?
I would say just stop a minute, slow down, take stock, check out. I'd do the life audit quiz, the life performance quiz.
Yeah.
Definitely do that, because that will highlight
so the
where
life
you are.
performance quiz is on our website.
Yeah, it is. Sorry. The life performance quiz is on our website, and we talk about it quite a lot because it's the first thing that we ask people to do when they come to us for some clarity and direction, is to answer some questions that that takes them through the 8 pillars of holistic well-being, but also covers all areas of life. And you get asked to score yourself between 0 and 10. There's no right or wrong. And we say, like if you do it every quarter, maybe, to keep on top of stuff. And then you've obviously put on there some journaling prompts as well.
Yeah.
A bit like the last question that you asked, to just actually stop and think about what it is you want. And if your kids are only 6 and 7 and you're working 60 hours a week, I guess the question for me would be, is that working for you? Are you happy with that? Because if you are, great, crack on.
Because the question is, how do I balance life, parenting and career, 60 hours a week, travel, kids, age 7 and 8?
Well, I think if you're working 60 hours a week already and you're travelling on top of that and you've got work, that's your work, then actually the balance is, there probably won't be a lot of time left for the kids other than the weekend. Or yourself. Yeah. So I would say that something needs to give, and to look at your human design, to see where your strengths are, to see where you can carve out some time for yourself. Because invariably, if you're working at that level, depending on your design, you may not have access to the energy all of the time. If you're not building in time for self-care and rest, then you're not going to be able to, your adrenaline and cortisol, which keeps you going all day, is going to be high, which could impact your sleep, which will ultimately impact your hormonal balance, which will ultimately
they've not mentioned sleep, but I would imagine that's going to have a knock-on effect.
God, yeah. And I think we're all really different. So like when you get up sometimes at like daft o'clock in the morning, and I know you love it and all the rest of it, and there are times when I love it, and I think the weather has got a big thing to do with me and my energy. Like if it's beautiful outside, I can get up at the crack of sparrows and do all of the things. When it's miserable in winter,
which is
now in the summer, again, it's harder.
It's still shit in June.
But I think I'm solar powered.
Yeah.
But some people are conditioned to do that, like getting up, going to work, and on that treadmill. I use the treadmill a lot, but that's kind of autopilot. And I know we've got to work. And my brother and sister-in-law, they've got 2 little boys as well, and they literally have everything planned. So they've got outfits for every day of the week. So like the weekends, planning and prepping for the week, and they literally get up at the crack of dawn. The kids go to breakfast clubs, then they go to school, then they go to childminders, they come home, have the tea and go to bed, and then it all starts again the next day. So I guess for whoever this is it a lady? I would say life audit quiz, the life performance quiz to start with, looking at what self-care you're doing. First of all, asking yourself, is this life that you're living right now lighting you up? Mm-hmm. Is it actually what you want? And what is it giving to you? What is it that you want from life? How much of what you're doing is lighting you up? How much of it is draining the living daylights out of you? And until you've answered those questions, it's difficult to give you the idea, the answer of balance, but the answers are all there for the taking.
Yeah, it's like the answers will
be obvious.
The insights come from looking at all of the elements in the life performance quiz, doesn't it? Yeah. And then understanding the human
and knowing
design
there's choice.
Piece. Yeah. Obviously, we're not going to say, give up your job and leave right now and spend more time with your kids, because it's got to be what they want. But you can start to feel into and open up to, okay, well, what do I want? What do I want my life to look and feel like? How many hours do I want to work? And then it opens up those synaptic connections in the brain of, okay, well, what other choices have I got? Instead of feeling like you're just stuck on that treadmill, is what you say, of just being in that one mindset of get up, do the thing, go to bed. And it's because, are you enjoying it? Great if you're enjoying it. But if you're not.
See, when you're flying high, sometimes when you're younger, I don't know how old this lady is, but when you're younger, you seem to have all of the energy.
I know who it is, but it's not. But I've said it'll be anonymous. 41.
So, mind you, I was probably knackered at 41, to be fair, but I was still going for it. I was at 47 before I hit the wall, but I guess it's understanding what the pressures are as well, but also understanding that there's choice. And the sooner you realise that there's choice and stop and have this look at life, it's almost having this stepping back. Like you say, what do you say? Stepping back, what do you call it? Parachute view, where you're literally parachuting in on your own life and going, well, what does that look like? And seeing if it's working for you and being really, really honest.
Yeah.
Or are you being driven by the money? Are you being driven by bringing in the cash every day to pay for the mortgage and to save up for the 1-2 week holiday that you have every year, but the rest of the time you're exhausted and don't see your kids? Is it time to create some balance? So it's all within your gift to change, to create the balance, but where you start will be based on what's going on for you.
Yeah, and I'd suggest as well, if you could, doing some meditation.
Always.
To give you that time, to give you the rest for like the 10-15 minutes and sit with it. Just sit with how you feel and allow anything to come up. And when you do start looking at your life and doing this type of work, you will question everything. You will question your relationships. You will question your career. You will question your fitness routine or your nutrition routine. You will question the people in your life. Are they right for you? Do they drain you? Do they light you up? All of that. Because some of us just put up with stuff.
Yeah. And it's energetically correct for you to do that.
Things fall apart, don't they, when you start looking, and that's okay. But it can be quite frightening because people are like, but this is all I've known all my life, and now I've identified things that need to be changed.
Can we reframe the fall apart? Because I think the words fall apart is where the fear comes from.
Yeah.
It's almost like recalibrate. It's like recalibrate, revise, review your life rather than having it falling apart. Let's just see what we can change to rebalance it. We're loving the words, but I think it's the falling apart bit that people go, what? Because they've not got, and that feels like they don't have any control over it. Does that make sense? Yeah. And the meditation piece comes under self-care, and it's the first thing. And one of our ladies lots of our ladies are really busy, and we can get them, or we can help them get into a really great self-care routine. But when they're literally up against it and they check in and say, this is where I'm at and I'm a million miles an hour and it's not forever, it's just until we get to X, Y, and Z. Right, how are you with your self-care? And a lot of them go,
it's out the window.
It's gone. Right.
Bring it back in.
Bring it back.
What are you doing to look after yourself?
Yeah,
because we've got to top up the cup because if we haven't got the energy to give, we can't give it.
I know. And it's having that honesty with yourself as well, isn't it? It's like, we fall off the wagon. We do.
Yeah.
We fall off the wagon and go, and even you go, I've not meditated for a few days. And you go, but you can tell, can't you? When you've got that practice, you can tell. And like last week I said, right, I'm having a day off. I'm done. I just need, and all I did all day was sleep. But I knew I needed that. And whilst some people say, well, what a waste of a day off.
But not feel guilty about it as well.
Bloody loved it.
Yeah, because you obviously needed it.
But
I know I think we've chatted about this before. I used, if I sit down, I think, I'm being lazy. What else could I be doing?
That's because
I've worked through that now. I'm all right with that. I'm not being lazy. I'm listening to the body. If it needs to sleep, it needs to sleep. And I don't need that much. But if I continue to keep going, I've got to rest.
I think that being disempowered in the root and having that lying down and doing nothing is classed as lazy. But actually, if you've got an undefined root centre, lying down and doing nothing might be just what you need at that time. And it's understanding that and being okay with it.
Yeah.
Isn't it? And just making sure that the people around you know that that's what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be honest, Mark's really good with stuff like that. He's, because, he sees me doing loads of stuff anyway. And sometimes I'll go, I'm just going to go for a little lie down. And then I think, what's Mark going to think? And I'm like, sod what Mark thinks. I need to lie down. And he's never said nothing.
No, but it's
in my head.
But he has said to me, you're a lazy bitch. She said she's always on his uncle.
On the
I'm not being funny. The kids are starving. They're walking around like feral.
They can look after themselves.
She said the kids have got rickets. She's not feeding them.
I feed the dogs before I feed the kids. Me babies.
He hasn't really rang me to tell me that.
I know. I'd kill him if he did. So thank you for that. I hope that's answered that question. I will also let that person know that we've answered it for them. Another question is, you keep going on about self-awareness and emotional intelligence. What is self-awareness and how do I become more self-aware?
I'll throw it back to you, love.
Self-awareness is being aware of yourself, isn't it? Being aware of your thoughts.
Oh my God, that's so profound.
Just
aware of everything.
The definition of self-awareness is about being aware of your thoughts and how they make you feel, but also and being aware of how that comes out in your behaviour, as well as being aware of what's going on around you as well. So it's knowing what's going on inside, but also being plugged into what's going on around and noticing other people as well. And
I think perception's really key, isn't it? And we're trauma informed, which is really important to us. And being aware of what's going on around and your perception to it will be based on the lens of the life that you've experienced. And your life, the life that you've experienced, is you've been through all sorts of things that to some people is very normal, to some people is not normal. But you view life through your lens and everybody else views life through their lens. And it's also having an appreciation for that, I think is really important. So whilst that's not self-awareness, I think it is aware that we're not all the same and we don't all react and we don't all believe the same things.
Yeah, I would say that is self-awareness mixed in with, when you talk about emotional intelligence and the 5 areas, and the self-awareness, self-discipline, empathy, social skills, and motivation. They're the 5 things. And you can't be any of the others if you haven't got self-awareness, because that is being aware of your thoughts, your feelings, your actions based on what you've been brought up on, and that realizing that other people are different and behaviors are different, but how aware are you on picking up with that? So I used to use an example within like the workplace, or you could use it in a home. If you walk into an office and someone comes in and they look miserable and you say, "Morning, how are you?" "Yeah, I'm fine. Do you pick up on that and go, "Actually, you said you're fine, but you're not," because I can tell.
Well, you can
with
tell
your
because
action.
you've got an open emotional centre.
But it's the self-awareness piece as well that's worked on. So the more that self-aware you become, the more you do pick up on others, and it naturally is easy for me.
Yeah.
Because I can feel it as well. But there'll be other people who'll go, okay, you're fine, I'll just crack on. And it's like, but they're not. You can see it.
Yeah, a mile off.
Yeah, a mile off. And it's about, okay, I'll go and grab a coffee with them, or I'll just check in with them because that, as a leader, or as a parent or as a friend, you're checking in with someone and then helping them and just understanding them a little bit more.
Some people that had lived their life through a different lens would find that very alien.
Yeah.
And it's
they've
been
never
okay
been
with that
asked.
as well. Well, it's just their experience.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think. Like I was talking to my mum and Mark at the weekend. I said, you two are like Waldorf and Statler. You know the two puppets that sit in the thing on the Muppet Show from the 70s? I said, listen to you like an old pair of old bastards literally just saying what's shit and who's shit. And you go, like, literally, say, and
were they aware? Are they aware of it?
They just started laughing when I said it, but I just said it's you're non-stop, like moaning. Pair of you. You'd pick up on it because if you get 15, your dad would be perfect for that combo. They'd be literally like the three witches of Macbeth, Hubble Bubble, Toil and Trouble. And you know when they start calling people what a dick, or ranting on the road or whatever, and you go, well, if it's having that empathy and having that understanding that actually that person has been through a different set of life experiences to you, and if you'd have had all the life experiences that person had and you'd have lived their life, then you'd be showing up that way. So have some empathy for it.
Yeah. And then that's another element.
And they go, shut up, Yoko Ono. Yeah.
But it is, again, and then that's going from self-awareness, empathy.
Yes,
isn't it? It's like you, if you can be emotionally intelligent on those 5 levels, and again, knowing your human design gives you the awareness to be able to work on that.
And then obviously if you've got gate 15, that's an extra. Yeah, Brucey bonus. So you find some good in humanity on any level, even for the biggest pillock.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Why you normally say prick, not pillock?
I quite liked pillock today.
Prick. No, and you're right. You can, and I've noticed I've gone a little bit more softer again, because you know the way women get a bad rap off, typically men, and I suppose other women, with the driving. So they'll make a comment, oh, I bet you that's a woman driver.
That's my dad.
Oh, it does my
bloody blondes in bloody BMW shouldn't be bloody allowed. I'm like that, Dad. We're in 2024 now.
But I must admit, and I was watching a Instagram reel from Davina McCall the other day about menopause and brain fog, and about how you literally, she said, I can't explain it. She said, but this is how I used to feel. She said, we'd go in the car, I'd be taking my son to football, and then I'd be driving along and I'd get the end of the road and then I'd go, where am I going?
I do that every day.
And she's like, but what day is it? I've got my son in the car. He's got his football kit on. Okay. And then she'll just go, I'll just turn right. And then the next minute the son's gone, Mum, why are you going this way? And she said she was that embarrassed to admit it. She'd go, oh, I just thought I'd go this way for a change. And then it would come back to her that they were going to rugby or something. And she said, but it's such a horrible and scary place of you literally get to and I've had it driving, I'm driving, and your mind, it goes blank.
Right, I've had it recently.
If I've seen someone in a car and they've took a little bit longer to go, I've gone, just give them some time, because you don't know what's going on in the head or the life. They could be stressed, because I've understood that now. So that's the empathy piece again of like, just give them another few. You don't need to beep them. You don't need to say anything to them. Just let them go, because I've been there going, I don't know where I'm going, which way, what day is it? Oh, and you just go.
Yeah, I tend not. I have been in that place before and felt really weird. It's like complete disassociation of. I don't even know where I am.
Yeah.
But also not getting stressed about being late or I don't. Whereas used to get stressed in traffic, now I don't give a thing. And I think 9/11 did that, because I always think back to the people that were late that day to get to work, and I'm thinking, well, if I am rushing and I get to somewhere that I'm not meant to be, so just chill.
Yeah, you'll get there when you get there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we went off on one there, but that was a question around self-awareness. So self-awareness, doing stuff like meditation, breath work, yoga,
understanding
human design,
how you design to show up,
reading books, doing something like the life performance quiz, again, just keeps giving you more information for you to understand. And just that's why I love meditation, because it gives you that, and breath work, it gives you that time to sit with the thoughts, notice how they make you feel, allow them to process. You don't push the sad feelings down. You let them come out, or the anger, as well as the happy, the joy, the peace, the calm, and understand, oh, I've never noticed I've thought that about that person before, and oh, how does that make me feel? And it could be a positive, a negative, or a neutral thing, but just giving yourself that time, that really does, and the space to notice your thoughts, how they make you feel, and how that reacts in your behaviour. Because a lot of people across the world, we are on autopilot, and how much of us are just unconscious to what's going on. We're just literally that person in the car on autopilot.
I think that's one of the biggest things that when we're working with our clients, regardless of whether they're business or personal, is that self-awareness piece, and them actually going, oh my God, I didn't even realise I did that. Oh my God, I didn't realise I held that down. What's that emotion? Why is it there? Let it out.
Yeah.
And they're going, God, I didn't even know that was there. And feeling the weight come off when it's out. I think that's one of the biggest things, isn't it? As part of the work that we do, is the self-awareness piece. Again, human design being the lining paper of the cake tin of everything that we do. When you understand yourself, how you're designed to show up in the world, how you're designed to interact with the world, how you're designed to make decisions, how you're designed to eat and learn and be, all of those things, they just give you such a huge grounding.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, I think we've got time. Just one more. It's 14:44. Angels are with us. What do I need to do, or how can I show up as myself with confidence?
Just do it. It's like Nike Air Jordan. Just do it.
It's a tough one, that, isn't it? Because the confidence comes with you doing it.
What's holding you back? Is it fear? And the best way to move through fear is movement, and just to do it anyway. So again, it's understanding, why are you stuck? What are you fearful of? Some of it's we know that we come with legacy fear, especially in our splenic centre. So understanding, this has been really helpful actually with quite a lot of people, is understanding that whilst we feel certain things as fear, it's not actually fear, it's energy. And the way through that is to move it. And so when, again, we go back to human design, but it's fundamental part of what we do, is that when we know what the legacy fear is in the spleen, then we understand how much of it is conditioned, how much of it has come with us through epigenetics, and what actually really belongs to us and what doesn't. And what I mean by what it doesn't belong to us, it belongs to us because it's part of our design, but it's not really fear, it's just energy that can be moved through by doing it.
And that's why.
And if that doesn't answer the question, get in touch and we can have a call about it.
Yeah. Again, with the confidence piece, because you have all kinds of people, confidence coaches out there, and you can do that in many different ways, like learning how to sing if you can't sing. But again, for me, it's about speaking your truth. It's about understanding who you are, what you stand for, being yourself with skill, and speaking your truth. And I think we talked about this on a previous podcast. It doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's about you showing up as you. So this person, again, is a new business owner, for entrepreneur, and they want to show up as themselves, but feeling scared too. So I've got the details, so I will get back to them. But
okay, but that's the question. What are you scared of? That would be my first question. What are you scared of? What's the worst thing that could happen? That's the question that I always ask. What's the worst thing that can happen? Someone might not want to work with me. And millions of people in this world.
Yeah.
Millions and millions and millions.
Yeah.
You know what? If you step into who you are designed to be and have the right support and the encouragement, and you can do anything that you want to do. And when you are yourself, you will attract the right people. So actually, do you know what? People are waiting. And that's the other thing. People are waiting to hear for what you've got to say.
Yeah. Yeah. You're doing people a disservice by not showing up, because there's someone out there, if you're setting up a business and it's to help others, you need to let them know so that they can come.
And I think most of the people in our world that are setting up businesses are doing it because they're here to help people
and solve problems, heal, or show people
a better way.
Yeah.
And so they need to share it. But we've talked about this before as well. It's a really noisy out there.
Yeah.
Really, really noisy. There's a lot of competition, and there's enough business for everyone.
Yeah.
It's about making sure that you attract the right people for you. You're not going to find these people. People need to be attracted to you, and you need to shine. So what we help people with is uncovering everything that is stopping them shining. And if it's a lack of confidence, then we work with that. If it's just a load of other stuff as well, we uncover that. We call them dirty overcoats.
The dirty overcoats, we take them off so that they can shine. So understanding where that lack of confidence comes from, because over time, again, beliefs and experiences, things happen to us that help us form a belief to say, I'm not confident.
Yeah.
Because typically something's happened and then that went wrong, or we felt that went wrong, and then we don't believe in ourselves, and that's where. But if you don't show up as you, as your authentic self, as we say, or as just real you, you're never going to feel fully
empowered,
are you?
Yeah. And they might not even remember. You know, it could be the school teacher saying, shut up, don't speak until you're spoken to. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Could be anything.
So, okay then. Thank you for that. That is the end of our life and business clinic for today.
That was lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Don't thank me. Thank you for the people that have asked the questions.
Yeah,
but
thank you for the questions. And if anyone else has got any more questions that they would like to ask, please email us hello@spaceandfreedom.com, and we will bring them into the next round.
Look forward to that.
So it's love and light from me.
And it's draw from me.